Hello everyone, it's time to fess up and reveal my lie from my 4 Truths and 1 Lie video. Thank you to all who played along. Number 1 was about my participation in smuggling Bibles into Mexico when I was a teenager. That is the truth. It was the summer before my sophomore year of high school, and the youth group from my church, along with 3 other youth groups, took a Greyhound bus into Monterrey, where we handed out hundreds of New Testaments. Catholicism is the official state religion of Mexico, and we were a bunch of Baptists trying to win souls for Jesus. I shudder now to think that I had a hand in converting anyone, but it was a great experience for me and one of only a handful of times that I've been outside of the USA. Number 2 is also the truth. I used to hang out at a gay bar when I lived near Detroit. It was there that I became aware of the discriminatory hiring policies of Cracker Barrel. I joined a committee organizing protest at a new Cracker Barrel that was opening in Belleville. Our first protest was on their first Sunday open. That's when they served their world-famous brunch and was sure to be busy. The protesters were out full force, somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 of us, but there were just about as many policemen, including police officers in riot gear and on horseback. They shoved and dragged us to the sidewalk that was across the street from the restaurant, and wanted us to move back to a field that was just on the other side of a ditch. And the ditch was water and mud filled, and I refused to go down through it, so the cops slapped the cuffs on me, and I was the first of about 30 arrests that day. We ended up all pleading no contest and getting off with nothing. My third truth is that I do indeed organize a Christmas celebration for my community. There's nothing religious about it, unless you count the floats made by a few churches and the lighted parade. After the parade, we sing carols around the bonfire and serve cookies and hot cocoa. Santa arrives on a $100,000 combined harvester, and he visits with the children for a while. And then the next day, our recreation complex hosts free swimming and skating, and there's a craft show and a cookie contest, and Santa comes back to listen to the children's wish lists. Moving on. I did have a neighbor who was obsessed with me. It was a pretty scary few months in my life. That one time included him asking me how someone could dispose of rotting flesh. That one sent shivers down my spine, and I put a chair under my doorknob that night also, despite having a deadbolt on it. It all came to a head one night when my sister was visiting, and I had just jumped in the shower when he came over and knocked on the door. My sister told him I was busy and closed the door, and he proceeded to shine lights up through my apartment windows, banging on the door and screaming my name and accusing my sister of harming me. I ended up calling my landlords, and they in turn called the police, who took him to the University of Michigan Hospital. I had to go in to sign a complaint, and only after I had signed it did he decide to voluntarily commit himself. That leads me to the lie, which was number 4. I am not much of a photographer, and the pictures that I generally take are family pictures and school events, family functions, that kind of thing. I did take the picture that I used in my video. It's of the beautiful Manistee River in northern Michigan, but pictures like that are far and few between. So, cheers to Rogue Combatant, Avicenna 2, Shallow Be Thy Games, and the Mudbrooker. They all guessed correctly. Until next time, peace.